And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Creators Couchcast episode number 2 with your host, Planetary from the Planetaryashe, and for tonight's special guest. Feel free to sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. And hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Planetary, back again from the Creators Couchcast, here for episode number 2. And here for tonight's episode, as always, we got our special guest with us. We got Medevil Genie.
Yeah, hello.
Charles, or as he like to call himself, C3.
Yeah, either's good. Hey guys.
And we also got Hybridsteel.
Good evening, everybody.
Now, for the listeners or for the viewers, for the Creators Couchcast, from left to right, what do you guys normally do for your channel? Medevil Genie, if you mind signing off.
Yeah, so hello, I'm the Medevil Genie. I hit people with swords, and I really like it. And then I publish the results, because people don't believe I hit people that hard with swords. And I say, oh, watch this. Oh yeah, you did, didn't you, Johnny? Yep. Yeah, I hit him that hard. Oh.
I really, really wish that you could edit over this with the final scene from The Wolf of Wall Street. Sell me this. Sell me your channel.
Shut up and take my money. There we go. That has to be the most vaguely intro that I've ever heard, but I can agree with that.
I mean, it's difficult to describe historical European martial arts, because then it starts going to, oh, is it like reenacting? No. Is it LARP? No. Is it like... No. Just no.
Basically,
it's something
I
else.
hit things with swords. Done.
Yeah.
So pretty much you're just a person who likes wielding medieval sword, if that's what I'm catching at. Is that right?
Correct. But yes, on a serious note, I train with sometimes the blunt sparring weapons, and obviously we do martial arts, so we're actually looking at the original treatises and things, and the techniques and whatnot, and learning from that, and experimenting on each other. Plus, also we do experimentation with things like sharp weapons, test cutting, with tatami mats, plastic bottles, fruit, just anything you'll allow me to destroy, really, including furniture sometimes.
Oh wow, that's actually pretty neat.
That was.
Yeah. It's pretty neat that you actually been a destructive channel. Well, not a destructive channel, more like a person who likes cutting up stuff.
A deconstructive channel.
A deconstructing channel. There we go.
Yeah.
Right.
But yes, I mean. Well, carry on.
Oh, no, carry on. Anyway, sorry.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I talk about sort of the techniques and also, things going on in general. I've had an attempt at stuff like blacksmithing, archery, and other things like that. So, of course, I sometimes talk about the actual techniques and how they're done, but also talk about general concepts. Like, for example, lots of people know about people like Scalagrim and Lindy Beige. I mean, I cover some similar topics to them, but for example, I replied to a thing in Lindy Beige who was suggesting that people don't wear protective gear. Oh, well, it's not that authentic for sparring, for hitting people without armour. And, yeah, that was interesting. In fact, it was quite funny because I'd done a response talking about the fact that, if you're going to be hitting people with full intention, you should wear some sort of protective gear so you don't die in real life. And it had turned out from some conversations with other people who also do historical European martial arts. In one of the events that he'd turned up to, he'd accidentally stabbed somebody in the face during a class.
Ow.
So he's there, oh well, all you need is restraint and control over your weapons. Well, speak for yourself, buddy. You stabbed somebody in the face.
Ouch.
During a class. This wasn't like a. It wasn't even like a.
Things go wrong.
Yeah.
Oh god. I actually feel sorry for the dude who actually end up getting stabbed in the face.
Yeah. Luckily, it wasn't anywhere like the eye. But yeah, suffice it to say, it's one of those sorts of near miss scenarios. We think, yeah.
Yeah. Got to be a little bit careful.
Wear the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, people will sometimes look at these things and think that we're just clubbing each other to death, and it's really dangerous, but with the proper gear, it's very unlikely that you'll get any injuries. Any times that you see people getting injuries, either someone went too far, like someone getting really angry and turning a disarm into an actual arm break, or just basically something unsafe was done, like, for example, not wearing a mask and then getting stabbed in the face.
Alright.
That's bad.
Yeah. Charlie Charles, mind explaining what you do for your channel, my good sir?
Do you want me to try and explain it in a way that's equally long-winded as what the Medevil Genie just did, or shall I just keep it a bit more condensed?
Maybe a bit shorter.
A little bit shorter.
Little bit shorter? Yeah, okay. I make gaming videos.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
I focus on funny
What
moments.
makes your channel different to other gaming channels?
Me. I'm the selling point.
To
My personality.
yeah.
All.
He's rage-inducing commentary when it comes to some particular games that really ticks him off, and I know that for sure because I've been watching his Crash Bandicoot series, and he rages a lot. To the fact,
I haven't been raging that badly. Like, I think the video of mine that stands out the most in my memory for rage, in any case, was when I did my first impressions on Kart Racer. That's the one that always pops up in my memory, at least.
Kart Racer.
What happened?
It's this really crap game on Steam, right? It's literally like 80 pence or something.
Asset flip
you
material.
are literally playing as a hobo who has to try and jump into a shopping cart, roll
I've
down a
seen
hill
this.
of various different
Yeah.
types on various.
Jim
sort of
Sterling played
different
that game
terrains
once.
and
He
try
got
and
angry
hit
too.
Targets. It's infuriating. I only got halfway through it in my video, but I've been back and played it since because I wanted to finish it. And there's no save or anything, so every time if you close the game, you have to start from the beginning.
No.
And it's the worst. It's just the worst. It was fun the first time I played it, but when I went back to finish it, it was like, this is awful, and I'm glad I never have to play this again.
Oh god,
Pay money not to play the game.
Yeah.
But lately
That's as
I've
bad
been
as a
sort of-
typical Ubisoft microtransaction game.
But lately I've been trying to sort of expand the channel, or my channel, so that I'm covering different types of things. So I've just started my first horror playthrough, and I'm going to be starting a playthrough / review of an indie RPG as well fairly shortly.
Ah, nice. The horror game you're playing is Layer of Fear, is that correct?
It is Layers of Fear, yes.
Now you also have tried Outlast 2, but you didn't want to play it.
Yeah, I don't think tried Outlast 2 is a fair way of putting it. I didn't really get far enough into it to classify it as trying Outlast 2. I bumped into a cactus and quit the game. That's essentially what happened.
I played that game up with around my brother's house, and mate, I haven't jump scared for a little while, and the last time I did was when the PT demo was out, but that one got me. I mean, Outlast is definitely one of those games, just like, no, I don't want to walk around that corner. Yeah, I'm good.
Well, I'm not a horror gamer anyway. Layers of Fear is the first horror game that I've played, because I don't think the old Bioshocks count as horror games. They're more sort of thrillers sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something like that.
So Layers of Fear is the first proper horror game I've played, and it's
Just be
an uncomfortable experience to say the least.
glad you didn't actually jump into Outlast 1 or Whistleblower.
Oh yeah,
They're,
I've heard that Outlast 1 was a lot worse.
yeah,
it was.
It is actually a lot worse than Outlast 2. It's actually more comparison to that. They both had the same scare factor, but with Outlast 1 being in the insane asylum, it brings out more scare factor to it. Oh, crikey. Now, Hybridsteel. Now, what do you do for your channel?
Well, I decided that after 31 years of playing video games, maybe screw it, I should start reviewing video games. Basically, my channel is full of reviews of literally anything I can get my grubby little mitts on, because I'm a piss poor gamer, need to be able to get hold of material, so I'm hooked up and trying to find all these free games to review. I live stream, hang out with subscribers, basically just try to create a community within my YouTube channel, because the people that I talk to on my Discord and into my channel are partially the reason why I do my live streams, because I talk to them about the content that I'll be putting out. They sort of have a chat to me about the games they want to see, and I'll do a review. Apart from knowing the knowledge of going through YouTube and stuff and trying to rank stuff, it's literally just the same as any other gaming channel, just with me giving you a 50-50 split instead of kissing ass or hating upon everything, basically. The things that...
So you try to be more balanced then?
Yeah, the thing I don't like about when it comes to like new releases for Fallout 76, for instance, it seemed to be trendy to hate the game even if you hadn't played the game. My review of the game was to give it a 50-50 split. Here's the good and here's the bad. I'm not going to tell you to buy the game. You make that choice yourself. That's how I feel that reviewers should be, but they seem to be either one-sided or just they can't be asked. And it just seems to be revolved around trending hate, or here's a ton of money, please give our game a positive review. And to that I say bugger off, basically. I'll do it in my own way. But yeah, the whole live streaming side of things, I like the live stream, even if like I only get like 4 or 5 people turn up into my stream. It's the actual communication between me and the person viewing the channel and viewing the actual stream and how things go. It's the interaction between the people I thrive off, because they're the reason why I'm doing it, because I like to talk to people outside of my 4 walls, basically.
A very good mentality. It's the same reason that I do my streams as well, which I didn't mention when I was
same with me.
plugging my channel.
There are too many people that basically stream and just basically focus on, please give me donations, please subscribe to my channel because god damn it, I'm worth it. No, fuck off, man. You just chill and just sort of go with the flow, build a community,
collaborations. Oh, sub and I'll sub back.
Sub for subbers need to die.
Yeah.
And same.
They will, and they will all die alone.
Because no one sub for their funeral.
It's funny, I had a collaboration offer today.
Oh, cool.
But no, that's the thing. I looked at their channel, I thought, oh, maybe this is a person who, also likes to hit people with swords, or does the sort of stuff that I do. And I looked at their channel, and they have nothing to do with the topics. And I think, there's unless it's something like this kind of creators couch cast. It's basically either going to be something miscellaneous like this, or it's going to be,
Yeah, something that doesn't suit you, something that's a little bit off your genre.
Something that would make my blood boil. I think, you know what? I'm going to stop hitting my friends. I've found something else to smite. Sub for subbers!
I think...
But seriously though, yeah.
Yeah, I think...
It does become a bit of a gamble. Does this person want some actual content, like some sort of really fascinating, work together and make something really cool? Or is it going to be some sort of, hey, I want to be famous and you can help me by just blurting my name out a few times?
I think we all had those problems before when it comes to people who are asking for collaboration and they don't give us some specific details of what they want to do. I'm pretty sure we all have.
I don't get asked for collabs.
I tend to be the one asking to collab with people as well.
I personally don't give a damn, and I'm quite open about this on my live streams. I'm basically saying, there's no point in trying to collaborate with me because I review games. I don't play games technically on my channel, apart from the live streams. And the live streams are just me talking to subscribers. I don't sit there and go, oh yeah, I'm just going to play the game with this guy, he's blah blah blah. I'm not being horrible, but that person probably doesn't give a shit about me, so why should I care about them?
Fair enough. Because some people who does want to do collaboration, they're looking for subscribers or for views.
Yeah, they're looking for sort of a foothold into a new audience.
Yeah, which that.
And I don't mind that sort of when you have a mutual deal. It's like I did a collaboration of a guy who does, and his name was Luciano, and he did sort of these, Oriental martial arts. So he does kind of things with a kusari, those sorts of Japanese sickle type weapons and all sorts of stuff. Ooh. And we kind of collaborated together, and it meant that people who might be interested in the Oriental and the Occidental types of weapons, it was kind of the things we collaborated on made sense.
Yeah.
In that sort of context, it can work. It's just, of course, that whole doubt in the back of your mind, when some new person comes over, is it someone who's going to do something really cool and interesting like that? Or another example, I collaborated with someone who does film and TV. Technically, we're incompatible. We both talked about Game of Thrones from the perspective of a movie and TV reviewer and a historian. It kind of worked,
Okay.
But of course, then you've got to worry, or is it going to be, again, some sort of sub-for-subber who doesn't give a shit?
Here's a question for you, Medevil Genie. Now, say for instance, if someone did a review for, let's say for instance, For Honor, and they need someone who knows swords and weaponry, would you actually do that collaboration review on For Honor?
100%.
You would do it 100%?
Yeah. In fact, I was back in the times, I don't know if you guys remember, or even if you knew, because it wasn't very well advertised, but there used to be this thing called the YouTube forums. Actual places, you know, it's like your standard forums, but dedicated and created by YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on there, and there were, you know, there was a collaborations corner, and I was on there basically every single day.
Oh.
So, you know, I was basically asking other people, and I was making different types of offers. Like I said, we'll talk about maybe fight scenes or things in TV, or we'll talk about, you know, we'll look at video games, or, you know, all sorts of things, and I'll collaborate with. I even had this one person I tried to collaborate with who just got lazy, and I never heard from them since. But I was going to collaborate to do a sort of scenario or something involving realistic sword fighting, and this guy was an animator. So of course I can't animate for toffee. I'd probably make stick figures bumping into each other crudely, but that person probably wouldn't know how real sword fighting works. But I could sort of instruct them and give them some maybe really cool, flashy looking flourishes and, you know, really exciting stuff, and they would create the physical animations, which would just create this perfect combo. You know, that's one of the things why I'm so strongly in favour of collaborations.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the effort is put in, you know, you can have two people who on the surface are completely incompatible, like a historian and a film and TV person, or, you know, a historian and an animator. I mean, you'd think, well, on the surface you think there's nothing in common with these people, but then, you know, they can put the effort together and work on making something amazing.
Mm.
It worked for Time Team.
I mean, one of the things that inspires me is
Time Team, when
you know,
they
what
did,
you see in stuff
they
like
basically
television.
They have archaeologists working with film crews to dig up a site and look for historic facts. So it's the same as doing stuff in the TV studio that is on YouTube. It's do you have that same sort of formula that people want to watch?
Charles, I know you have gone a little bit quiet, but what kind of collaboration have you actually done with people lately?
I went quiet because I didn't really have anything to input, but lately I haven't. My main collaborations lately have been my streams, because I'm usually joined weekly by fellow YouTubers and just friends of mine. Video-wise, I haven't done any collaborations for quite a while with other YouTubers. It's just been a case of me dragging one of my friends around to my place so that we can play Cuphead together.
Fair enough.
How's that?
And I'm not really sure that counts as a collab, to be honest.
Well, it's sort of. It's just a collaboration
Yeah,
with someone
sort of
offline
does,
rather than
but-
online.
Yeah.
How's Cuphead treating you anyway, Charles?
I thought it was going pretty well, but the episode that's the next episode that's coming up, we get absolutely abused. It's horrible. It's so horrible.
Oh.
We just started World 3, and Rumour Honeybottom, or Honeybottoms, I can't remember, the bee boss, absolutely just traumatised us both.
Oh.
You can tell by the end of the video that we are just not having a good time anymore. By the time we beat her, we decided to do one more boss afterwards so that there'd be a bit more variety in the episode, but I had to cut so much of the footage from that recording out because we're sat there in stony silence because we just don't want to be there anymore.
You don't want to be there.
Well, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
Oh, the irony there.
Like, we got through it, but it makes... Cuphead has an amazing way of making you feel like everything you fight is the worst thing in your life, and then when you get past it, and the next thing comes along, it's like, oh, maybe that thing wasn't so bad after all.
So the animated version of Dark Souls, basically.
It's worse than Dark Souls.
I was going to say, Dark Souls...
At least worse than the first one. The first Dark Souls is the only one I ever played properly. I did start doing a blind Dark Souls 3 playthrough in my streams as well, but that sort of tapered off. But yeah, Dark Souls 3 is also mortifyingly hard. Or maybe I'm just out of practice. It's been a long time.
I cannot play I can play Dark Souls 3, but I'm just completely lost at the moment. I just don't know which way to go. I can finish Bloodborne without a problem, but Dark Souls series, it's a bit of a 50-50 chance of saying what am I supposed to do, or okay, I know where I need to go. It's just that.
I think I got to the first proper boss in Dark Souls 3, you know, where you walk into like the cathedral place and there's the dead woman or whatever sat in a chair and you pick something up and then you're in a boss fight.
I think I might
something with, I vaguely remember it being like a giant with two swords or whatever that spawns.
I think that's the Twisted Sister or the Twisted.
That sounds about right.
Or the Twisted Dancer. Who knows?
That's where I got to. I turned around, saw the boss fight, saw that I was trapped, got one-shotted, and then went, "That's the end of this," and I haven't been back.
Wow.
That's because you weren't supposed to.
Sounds rough.
That's because you weren't supposed to go against that boss first. You're supposed to go.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I figured that much.
Yeah.
But I didn't know where I was going and nobody in chat was helping me, so it's like, okay, I'll walk this way. And I just got crushed. And since then, I've been lucky enough to have guests on my stream every week, so I haven't needed to do anything on my own, because that's what the Dark Souls playthrough was. It was what I was doing on my own when I didn't have anyone to play with.
Yeah, you know what, I'm actually quite glad you haven't got a lot of people writing in the comments saying, get good in Dark Souls.
I do hate that.
I actually quite enjoy it because I love that interaction with my audience. Like, one of the things that I really enjoyed about my Dark Souls, the couple of episodes I did with Dark Souls in my streams, was that one person in particular was actually keeping a death counter in chat. And I thought that was quite amusing.
Although I have to admit, the whole get good, it was so annoying. It infested other games, and even actually the martial arts that I do, and it just became like those things that annoying people do. So why did this go wrong? Oh, you just need to get good. Whereas, I mean, maybe I'm a bit iffy because the fact that I'd give like a 20-point plan, bullet pointed, like Santa's shopping list, about what needs to change and things that went good and things that went bad, but they're like the exact opposite. Okay. Instead of giving too much information, they give nothing.
They just only say, get
what
good.
Went wrong? Get good.
That's it.
Oh, thanks, buddy. That was handy advice. Go pester somebody else.
It's just one of those moments you just don't know what to do, and just like you just rage. Just like, I am trying to get good. Just tell me how to get good. Tell me where I need to go. Anyway.
I mean, sure, we're not going to give an essay, but...
If you ever join any of my streams, most of the time I'm just like pissing around on like Call of Duty or Battlefield or something like that. I'll die a ton, and people just come in. Oh, he's dead again. Yeah, just chalk it up again. We're just going to go. We're just going to try. Oh, I'm dead again. Check this shit. And by the end of it, if I had a chalkboard, there just wouldn't be any board left. It would just be chalk.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd
need a new set of sticks.
Years ago, when I was actually good at like Call of Duty and Battlefield, we didn't have the internet properly back then to do what we do now. So I can't prove that I had 3,000 stab kills on Call of Duty Modern Warfare because that record doesn't exist anymore. But going into Call of Duty Black Ops 4, I've died so many times. It's just it's a laughing joke now. If I turn it on, I literally name that stream, I will die a ton. People come in and laugh at it. It's all good.
I call my live streams dead streams.
up until I started my channel, I was a console gamer, so everything I do on PC now is fairly fresh to me.
Yeah.
And I won't bother playing competitive FPSs, Overwatch being the only exception, because I don't take that seriously. But I'm genuinely like a really competitive person, and I get really salty when I can't hack it, because I used to be not get good levels of good, but I was pretty good.
You were moderately good, able to be able to hold your own.
Hold my own and carry the occasional team in Modern Warfare 2 days back on the 360.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
those
now
days
You guys are
it's-
lucky. I never had those days. I was
But
always
now
crap.
it's just like I have to play as characters that I don't have to be pinpoint accurate with, because I can't keep up with the accuracy with people on PC, because I still use a controller because I'm a scrub.
There's a whole different level between like controller and like mouse and keyboard now.
Yeah, it totally is.
There's this whole thing about you get gamers like yourself who have gone from like console to PC, and it's like, yeah, I've just got to get better with a mouse and keyboard. It's like, why? There are already thousands of people better than you. Why don't you just stick with what you know and get and basically be the best on a controller?
Yeah.
Because you'll never be able to compete with somebody on a mouse and keyboard if you're playing with a controller, unfortunately.
I agree.
found that.
The thing for me is that I spent a decade playing console. I'm never going to catch up. I'm never going to catch up with people on PC, so I'm not even going to bother trying. I'd rather just enjoy playing on a controller and not
Dr. Disrespect
cramp up my
plays on
hands.
both, and he's damn good on both.
Who?
Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, Dr. Disrespect. He's a bloke called Guy who used to work for Sledgehammer. He created.
Does he have a
this,
doctorate?
No, he just calls himself that because he's just good at what he does. But literally, he's got like 750,000 subscribers on YouTube. His channel's been going for a couple of months because he's mainly a Twitch streamer. If you ever get him on your team playing Call of Duty or PUBG, you're almost guaranteed to win. I mean, I watch his live streams and I watch his videos. He's like head and shoulders above most of us when it comes to FPS.
Oh, yikes.
It's funny, I knew a guy, Gary Smog, who was like that. We used to say that he was turning on his aimbot. You could spectate him even in first person. You could see he's not doing anything, that was actual hacking or anything like that. But how accurate he was, it was just
like
obscene.
He was just obscene. Yeah, exactly the word I was going to use. Obscenely good.
Yeah.
That whole quick scope, no scope.
Dr. Disrespect is obscenely good. Okay. After this, just go and watch one of his videos when you get 5 seconds, and just see how good he is at playing.
Yeah.
And it's jaw dropping for me because I thought I was good back in the day. He obliterates, and he's about my age now. So.
Yeah, you have a job though.
No, I don't.
Oh.
It was Stinglebacken that has a job. We all just have we're just making video content for the sake of entertainment and for the fun of it. That's pretty much all it.
For me, job wise, I haven't worked for 2.5 years. I'm a full-time carer for my wife. I've got 2 kids. My life is now predominantly looking after my wife and making sure my kids actually sort of do something in their life, because I don't want them to be like me.
And you're going to tell them, don't get married.
Partially, I'll let them decide that as they go on.
That's pretty much good. It was segueing from this. I've actually found a Facebook feed that actually happened a couple of days back. Speaking, a person from the Twitch, who was doing a live stream on Twitch. Not quite sure if I should actually bring this up, but I'll actually say it very, very vaguely and not go into so much detail of what actually happened. It was particularly a live streamer who, let's say, physically abused his wife a couple nights back.
Oh,
yeah.
That's now bombing YouTube.
Yeah, that's bombing YouTube.
I'm completely out
I
of
live
the
under
loop.
a
I have no idea
rock.
what it is.
What?
It's basically this guy was streaming Fortnite, and then all of a sudden he basically turned around and he slapped his wife in the face.
Oh wait, I bet I can guess who it is.
All right.
Did they recently win an award or anything?
What's up? What'd you say?
Did they recently win an award at the Video Game Awards?
No.
No.
Okay, it's not who I thought then.
It's not that streamer. It's someone else.
So what do you want from us regarding this topic?
Whenever anything bad happens and you hear the word Fortnite, you always think Ninja now, don't you? It's not just me.
It's not.
I've only just heard of that person yesterday.
Ninja.
Really?
Ninja.
Yep.
Ninja has been spreading a lot lately on YouTube. Whether he's doing Twitch streaming or he's doing
Spreading like a virus.
Yeah, I think Fortnite should actually die at the moment because of how bad it is at the moment with all the.
If I can if I can sort of hijack the Couchcast and take it on my own tangent, let's all have a stab at YouTube Rewind. Who else thinks it's completely ridiculous that Ninja got such a prominent role in that, considering he's not even a YouTuber?
I said the same thing when his name came up. It was just like, he's not a content creator, he's a streamer. Content
Not just that,
creators
but he also
make
streams
videos.
to Twitch and not YouTube.
Yeah. Well, technically that doesn't matter because it's a video
have
game
a look at
award.
it
It's
now.
not dedicated to
Yet.
YouTube.
But yeah, but I was
what
talking
don't-
about
what I-
YouTube
This
Rewind
is
in
now a
particular.
reaction video.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
the
why is
rewinds-
Will
the
Smith in
rewind
there?
stuff is crap. Oh, because Will Smith is a YouTuber as well.
Oh God, no.
Is he?
Serious?
Have you not?
It's
oh
all
my god, he's
YouTube
had his
red
channel.
stuff,
He's got
isn't it?
millions of subscribers already. Basically, Ninja shouldn't have won the content creator award because he doesn't create content. He's a streamer.
I agree with you on that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I got annoyed basically. You know,
Who's the blue-haired kid? He looks like
That's
Eric
Ninja.
from Dragon Quest.
That's Ninja.
Oh,
that's Ninja.
That is Ninja.
oh, that's a ninja. He's a bit too overt to be a ninja, but there we go.
Yeah, you can.
Oh
Of all
no,
the
they're on a
things- of all the
bus.
things you could
Oh, this
criticise
is
Ninja for, I think
bloody
that's-
hell. This is
That's
embarrassing.
probably a very uncommon choice.
Yeah.
He's very overt to be a ninja.
It's just I don't know what they were going through their mind when they did the YouTube Rewind. They just put
I think they looked at 2017s and went, you know what, we can top this.
yeah, and
Yeah, but wasn't
That was
2017's Doctor Disrespect?
Couldn't tell you.
I couldn't even tell you. I have to actually rewatch that, but
The one from
YouTube
last year
just
was
spoke
the
its
one
mind
where
in
it
a
featured
video.
the Paul brothers very heavily, if I remember rightly.
yeah, the Paul Brothers. The Paul Brothers was actually in there a lot lately.
KSI was in it, fidget spinners. Don't remember much else.
Yeah,
I think that was last year.
I thought the Paul brothers would be dead by now, YouTube-wise, that is.
You'd think.
no, they're more likely not going to die out just yet. They're more likely going to keep on going, making a very poorly content for the kids and knowing some kids.
Filming corpses and then pretending to apologise. I actually saw that's one of the things I did actually keep in touch with. And I saw their apology, and it was hilarious because it's supposed to be about these people, people who've survived suicide attempts and all sorts of stuff like that. And most of the video is actually him talking about himself. It'd be like some person gets, 60 seconds to talk about a genuinely interesting, tragic situation in a life, and then it cuts to him blurting about how humbled he is and how he is going to grow. And it just, literally just takes the camera and it's all edited. I don't know how long those people actually talked to him. And, maybe he was humbled. But in terms of we see,
It was all set up, man, because every single time he spoke, the music cut in properly, it was well produced, it was well scripted. It was just to try and make Logan Paul look like he gave a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing, it was insulting. I mean, you'd think he'd learn from the fact that, you do that sort of insensitive thing where you're just trying to get the views and things.
Yeah.
Well,
And then you think,
he
oh
did a
shit, I need to
boxing
do
match?
damage control.
Why else do you think he did a boxing match with KSI?
I don't know what
Because
that was
his
about.
repu-
I only
his-
heard about that
His
today.
his reputation was going down the toilet KSI basically went, yeah, you and me were going to have a fight, yada yada, 1 year from now. Hype. Logan Paul in the headlines every other couple of weeks. He's going to have a fight with KSI. He's training up, he's getting buff, he's having interviews. Boom, his name's back in the limelight. No one gives a shit about his past. Boom, he's now in a ring. Oh, it's a draw. Guess what? We'll do another one. Money, Logan Paul.
Bloody hell, that's all pretty much it. It's all rigged. They wanted to get him up there.
A deliberate draw, just so they can have another fight. I wonder if that was what
they
they did with...
It went 10 rounds, didn't it?
Probably 5 rounds at the least.
It went... Whatever happened, it looked like KSI basically won it. All of a sudden, both hands are up. It's like, yeah, let's screw off. That was a draw. No way. But because it was a draw, they get to do another one. They both get to earn another $100 million each.
Absolutely disgusting.
That is absolutely disgusting. Yeah. I just really don't understand.
It's an insult to professional boxers as well. People who actually train for this thing, and they go, "Oh, here are these fighters that are trained and can do what these things, can do these things properly."
But at the end of the day,
I
don't think this was being marketed in the same way as a professional boxing match. It was, here are two YouTubers that you want to see beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
That was what it was being marketed as. It was, they were marketing it as
Stick 'em in an alley
more than anything.
Yeah, but it's just... same with the other boxing match that KSI had did for some apparent reason. I just can't remember the name of him. It's just really
something Walsh, wasn't it? Was it something Terry Walsh or Joey Walsh?
Yeah, Terry Walsh. That's the guy, Terry Walsh.
KSI versus. Are we all searching for that?
I think we all.
Actually, I'm just updating the tags on a video I've literally just uploaded.
It's just
it's about some swords. Surprise, surprise.
About some swords. What kind of swords are you looking at? What kind of swords are you actually showing?
In this case, it was a saber, which is like the sort of thing, Napoleonic type of thing, and a long sword, which is like a two-handed sort of thing, not obscenely massive and clumsy, just kind of longish, fairly quick, but it was very nice.
It was Joe Weller, and that was in February.
February this year, was it? Or February?
Yeah. This year.
So it wasn't. So Logan Paul and KSI match happened this year on 5 months afterwards. Seriously.
But that fight's been that fight was like a year in sort of hype.
Jesus Christ! I never thought YouTubers will go down that low to actually trying to get themselves known like that. It's just no. Why not do it the right way? Why not do it like what we normally do? Just hard work and effort. But
because they
it's
can
too
make
much
a
hard
shitload of
work.
money off of doing it their way.
I mean,
they've got a ton of backing. They're just looking for the cash.
I mean, it sort of speaks for itself. I mean, I presume most of us found each other through the small YouTubers community.
Pretty much.
That's a long developed community of small YouTubers. I mean, if you're the sort of clickbait, shite, crappy, just churn out a video a day out of nothing, basically fart out a video constantly. Unfortunately, the way YouTube is, or maybe the way people are, I don't know what's to blame, but regardless, the end result is a lot of these people, for next to no effort, just shoot up. And I have been tempted to, look at...
I've got to admit, putting myself out there, I'd be very interested to talk more with you one-on-one, Hybrid. And
yeah. Give me free
maybe
tips.
my channel and see what I'm doing.
If you want to see something that I would do occasionally, I grade people's channels. I do a full review. I will spend an hour on your channel talking about everything. I just recently did Drunk Robot Gaming's channel. He was on a YouTube community, and he said he had 28 subscribers, and he's been on there for 3 years. and most of his views come from him rechecking his work. I spent an hour running through his entire channel.
But the thing
And
is
I
that
hope
your own
a lot
views
of it goes
don't
into it.
contribute towards your view count, do they?
They do once.
Yeah, I know. One, but it's not like it used to be where you could set an auto refresh and you'd get to 318
No,
views.
not at all. No, unless you made 18 accounts.
Oh yeah.
Yikes.
But yeah, so I've done it 3 times. I did it for the person that we've been talking about. I spent an hour going through his channel, give him an ideas. I actually did a full banner on how he should do a banner, how he should have his thumbnails laid out. I went through his SEO, I went through his video structure, I went through everything. As much to my knowledge as possible. Search engine optimization, tags, title, description.
If I was to analyse my own channel with my very limited knowledge, I would say SEO is definitely my weakest.
Yeah, same with mine.
It took me 5 months to learn SEO, and the reason why is because I was learning everything else at the same time. And you know when you have like that,
because you were learning.
Oh, sorry. I learned everything in a big bulk of time. So I went through thumbnail design, channel art, what should be in it, how to structure my channel, how to do this, and how to do everything. SEO was in there as well, but when it came to it, it was too much information I was trying to process at the same time. And then 5 months later, I had that sort of like lightning bolt moment where you just went, holy crap, I know what I'm doing now. And that's where I've gone from. I actually now have text sheets on my computer that tells me if I'm doing this type of video, this is the SEO I should be using.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. I think another way of...
I think...
Oh, sorry, go Charlie.
Cool, I could do with a copy.
I think what I've been hoping
video
for
hitting
is
people's
that...
swords, put this in.
I think what I've been hoping for with my
something.
videos and my content is that people will like it enough to share it with their friends. And that's sort of the growth that I've been going for, as opposed to SEO.
Yeah, the whole like community thing is good because it's word of mouth, and that's what I try and spread. And when it comes to my live streams, I try and spread that whole word of mouth thing. If you think this channel is good enough, give it to your friends.
Yeah.
But when it comes to YouTube, if you're a gamer like you, me, and Mitch as well, as a gamer, it's a cutthroat world. You really have to have that one tiny advantage over everybody else. So learning search engine optimization on its own is worth everything you put into it.
And which means...
Fair enough. I will definitely be contacting you outside of this.
Yeah,
not a problem.
Oh, yes, please.
Which I'm taking the guess of getting better tags is that you have to actually do the searches yourself. Like you have to search the words, search the sentence.
There are plugins that you can use, like there's vidIQ for Chrome and TubeBuddy.
I've used that,
which I use because I use Firefox and vidIQ is Chrome only.
Yeah.
I use TubeBuddy.
Yeah.
And I had TubeBuddy for a little while, and then it gave me Pro for a one pay amount for my lifetime.
Yeah,
and it
I
was
saw that and wasn't
quid.
sure whether or not it'd be worth it or not, so I passed up on the offer.
Yeah.
To be honest, £28 for lifetime. Even if I'm only going to use it for tags and stuff, it's definitely worth it. So what I've done for my sort of my search engine optimization is basically I went through 20 of my videos and I was putting in different random tags, different this, and how to describe the video and everything else. Then I was using TubeBuddy to actually sort of see where they're ranking. Then I would go on to I'd go on to my other browser, because I've got 2 browsers, so I can see the ranking when I'm not logged on.
Yeah.
You can do this in incognito mode as well. And then you type in a subject, say, I don't know, Paladin's PS4 review. You'll get a ton of videos and come up. If your video is up there a little bit and it's sort of like in the top 10, take that as a win, because people don't have to scroll too far down. But every single video above yours, learn from. So with TubeBuddy, you can search out, you can actually see other people's tags and how they're doing stuff. Just hit Control F and just type in the keywords, and it will come up as this is what you should be doing. So your title should be 3 or 4 keywords that sum up your video. In your description, you should have your title copy and pasted into your description, and do a little paragraph to explain what you're doing with your actual description, and mention your keywords about 3 times, maybe in that one paragraph. In your tags, every single one of your tags should be mentioning what you're doing in your video. So if I was doing a Paladin's PS4 review, in the description I'd have Paladin's PS4 review. In this video I'm going to be reviewing, so I've mentioned reviewing again, Paladins on the PS4, so I've mentioned it again. This game, yada yada yada, and in Paladins and...
Sorry, does repetition actually help? So let's say...
As long as it's not every single word is the exact same thing.
I was going to say...
If it's a natural flowing sentence, then YouTube doesn't pick it up as a spam. If it was just PS4, 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 they're going to basically look into your video. The idea with tags is don't put crap into it, things like Markiplier, or Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, because at some point YouTube might even look at your video and go, right, we're going to remove that, because they'll remove your video for false advertising.
It's not just that, but if you manage to pull someone in from that tag, they're not going to click on it anyway, because they'll see that it's not that.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's why what my most successful video I had was my Defiance 2050 review. And within the first 24 hours, that went up to 4,500 views, and I'm still not sure why that happened. After a month, that hit 20,000 views. Now it sits at nearly close to 41,000, and people are still watching that video, and I still don't know why.
Yeah, I had a similar scenario where I had this video I thought was one of my mediocre quality ones, which was comparing gambesons, which is as boring as it sounds. It's just a padded jacket you wear so that when you're hitting people with swords, you don't get a broken arm or something. It's just, there's a whole range of kit with masks and gloves, most popular, then the jackets and the greaves, and, that obviously people are most interested in things like swords. And I've done stuff about things like swords and stuff that, you'd think people are really into. But no, this video is one of the most popular on my channel. And it's just talking about, this is a good padded gambeson, this is a bad one.
I still love how you sum that up. It's as boring as
a good jacket versus a bad jacket, as opposed to shiny swords. I don't understand why.
You were trying to say something, Charlie? What were you trying to say?
Oh, I was just saying that I love how he summed that up. It's as boring as it sounds.
Indeed. I think...
Right, I'm going to drop another link quickly, because...
Link dropping, or ban him!
The reviews that I'm doing on my channel, I'm going to ship over to my actual other channel, which is going to be used for helping other people as well. So when I do reviews and when I do Photoshop extra bits pieces, that's where it's going to be. So.
I think a video of mine actually managed to blow up for some unknown reason was Super Mario World Part 4, and for some unknown reason, even though none of managed to put a lot of effort into it, it just blew up and reached up to 112, 120 views for some unknown reason. I was just thinking, well, okay, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But
a video of mine that blew up that I was completely confused by was a video that actually has very, very little to do with my other content. I didn't plug it at the beginning because it's not particularly relevant, but I'm also a musician, so I plan on occasionally putting out music of varying degrees. So for the Fallout 76 release, I did a cover of Country Roads.
Oh yeah, that blew up.
And it completely blew up compared to all of my other videos. Like, with the exception of one giveaway video that I'm doing, which has more views, that video went from being uploaded to being my most viewed video in 24 hours.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was like, how? This isn't something that's, strictly speaking, targeted to my audience. It isn't what people are subscribed to me for, and yet it's still sitting at twice the views as the next highest watched video on my channel.
It's because you tried something unique, and they actually like how you done it and made that video unique in your channel.
I'd like to hope so.
Yeah.
But it's very encouraging, at least, to know that my audience were quite so receptive to me putting out music stuff as well. It's very encouraging for the future.
Well,
sorry to interrupt. I really do need to go now.
There.
In fact, I'm keeping my parents awake by yakking to people
I was
over the
actually
internet
going to wrap this.
I was
actually going to wrap this up, but before we wrap this up, normally I'm going to do this for the end of the podcast. What is one advice that you would like to give out to any content creators around the world? What is one advice that you want to give out?
I'll let everybody else go first.
Medevil Genie, you're up.
Well, I'd say basically never cease to push yourself. If you feel like you're comfortable, I don't care. There's still something that can be improved. Just try to find a specific challenge, like maybe there's something you want to improve in the thumbnails or in the titles or even in the content itself. Maybe you want to try a new style of editing, or you want to try, it was like I tried a green screen, or other things like that. Just try some sort of challenge and regularly try something as an experiment. If it doesn't work, drop it. If it does work, that's something that's a new layer to the channel.
Very, very good advice for anyone who actually want to expand their horizon and expand their ideas. Pretty much a very good one. Thank you, Medevil Genie. Charles.
I think my sort of tip or advice would be for people, and this would be more aimed at people that are either considering starting or just starting, sort of in their early days. Know that what you're getting into is hard. If you're trying to do this as anything other than a hobby, this is an extremely hard field to break into, no matter what your niche is. And you need to be prepared for that. A lot of people will come into YouTube thinking, oh, it's going to be an overnight thing, I'll be a success by tomorrow because I'm so great and everyone's going to love me. No. Honestly, no matter how good you are, you're not going to get there overnight.
No.
And you need to make friends, you need to network, you need to improve, you need to be able to take criticism, and you need to be able to pick yourself and dust yourself off when you get knocked down, because you are going to get knocked down a lot.
Yeah, most definitely.
Like I couldn't
strongly agree.
I couldn't exactly put myself out there as having succeeded or made it or whatever, but it's one of those things that you have to accept. If you can't accept that and you can't accept criticism, you won't make it ever.
Hybridsteel.
I'm gonna take a page out of Roberto Blake's book. If you don't know who he is, check him out. Definitely. If he will give you marketing advice and entrepreneurship and YouTubing. And he said something at Vid Summit that stuck with me in my head, and I'm never going to be able to forget it, basically. His advice was, if you can't succeed on YouTube, then YouTube might not be the platform for you. You might be the world's best podcaster. You might be the world's best vlogger or blogger or web designer, graphic designer. YouTube isn't for every single person. And like Charlie said, it's not an easy platform to learn or do anything. If you were going to start a YouTube channel, know what you're doing. And when I say know what you're doing, research everything. Even before you put a video together, know what's going to be in that video. Because if you can't do that and you can't take the criticism, then you're just putting yourself up to fail. So, as said, you might not be the best YouTuber. You might have a different set of skills that's going to make you better than everybody else at something else in life.
And for my advice, will be given out to content creators and for people who just going to be either for currently and for people who are new into content creating or who are veterans in content creating. Just do it, like, don't see it as a job, just see it as a way to make to have a hobby, like to do some fun, have to give entertainment to people, just for the sake of fun, of probably bettering yourself. Or say, for instance, for me, I'm doing content creating because I want to better my speech, get myself better, but also yet better myself with making context, learn new things from other people. Say, for instance, you Hybridsteel, you help me out make how to make new thumbnails and how to make them more better, and also yet the search engine optimization as well, which that's pretty much good as well. But also yet remember that you, for people who are just one man band, make sure you do take your breaks somewhere along the line, because it can be straining as how to constantly make content every single time and just put
it's
it. It's
extremely straining.
I completely agree with that, because like I'd go for I sort of work in almost like the real time of actually having a job where you work for a certain amount of time and you have a holiday. Definitely take a break, because if you suffer from burnout, you could be hit for months and months and months.
Most definitely.
One other thing that I noticed coming into YouTube is that before you start, you think, yeah, putting out a video every day, that's easy. It's not.
That's fucking difficult.
It's not.
Like I when I started my channel, I was putting out one video a week, and I was barely meeting that quota. I managed to bump that up to 2 videos a week after a few months, and now I stream once a week on top of those 2 videos. I want to push it to 3 videos a week in the coming year, but if that doesn't happen, I'm not going to be upset about it, because it's a lot of work that you take on with recording and editing and everything else.
I've done in my 10-month stint of being here so far, I've done 306 videos.
Well, we might as well say goodbye to Medevil Genie since he has to go. See
you later.
Thank you, Genie, for coming on by. I'll make sure I'll put a link in the description down below for people to actually go check him out along on the podcast. Anyway, but anyway, I might need to wrap this up. Oh
yeah, these were closing words anyway.
Yeah. So, thank you, Hybridsteel. Thank you, Charles, for actually jumping on the podcast, and thank you for the viewers or listeners who decided to listen into the podcast. Thank you for actually joining in for tonight and actually getting to know these fine YouTubers. And I'll make sure I'll put a link in the description down below for Charles, and Hybridsteel, so you can go check them out and actually see what they actually do for their channel. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys next time for another Creators Couchcast, where I'll be where we're in for a treat. I might be defending the games, the whole entire group of defending the games to join in for this particular podcast. So hope to see you then on the next episode with those special guests. But until then, thank you for watching, or thank you for listening. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Bye everyone.
Peace out.